Final exams are brutal. I'll make it home soon. Don't let Rochelle bully you too much.
What is wrong with you? I don't want to see my mom's husband. He always pokes his nose into my affairs. Jasmine, he is your father. He's not. What about Nathan? What about him? When is he coming back? He says next month. I can't wait to see him and play lovey-dovey. Rochelle, is it true?
Hello, wonderful people, and welcome back to The Stepfather. Whether you've been with us since episode 1 or today is your very first time joining our family, thank you for being here. Now, if this happens to be the first episode you've seen, don't worry. You'll still enjoy today's story, but once you've finished watching, please go back and watch episodes 1, 2, and 3. Those episodes will help you understand who Jasmine is, why she guards her heart so fiercely, why Kwame refuses to stop trying, and why every smile, every silence, and every act of kindness carries so much meaning. Because every family has a story, every scar has a beginning, and every healing starts somewhere. Now, let's continue our story. A few months had passed, and Jasmine had just turned 13. People say 13 is the beginning of the teenage years. They don't always tell you. It's also the beginning of louder opinions, bigger emotions, and arguments that seem to appear out of nowhere, especially at home. Jasmine and her mother, Amma, had been arguing more often than ever before. Not because they stopped loving each other, but because they no longer saw the future the same way. Amma believed that after years of pain, life was finally giving her another chance at happiness. Jasmine believed something very different. She believed that every step her mother took toward the future was one step farther away from her late father. Amma had accepted Kwame's marriage proposal, and the wedding preparations had quietly begun. Everyone around them seemed excited, everyone except Jasmine. To her, it felt as though her father was slowly being erased from the family he loved so much. In Jasmine's heart, there would only ever be one man she could call her father, and no matter how kind Kwame was, he could never take that place. Thankfully, school was a different world, because that was where Nate came in. Over the years, the boy who once dropped books all over the classroom had become Jasmine's closest friend, her biggest cheerleader, her partner in laughter, her safe place. It was almost funny. At home, Jasmine could spend an entire evening saying only 3 words. But the moment Nate appeared, she laughed, she joked, she teased him, she smiled so much, you'd never guess she was carrying so much pain. If only Amma and Kwame could see the version of Jasmine that Nate saw every single day. As for Kwame, he had stopped trying to force a place in Jasmine's life. He had learned something far more important. Real fathers, whether by birth or by choice, don't give up because things get difficult. They keep showing up again and again and again, even if nobody notices, even if nobody says thank you. Because sometimes the smallest acts of love leave the biggest footprints on the heart. And today would be another ordinary day. Or so everyone thought. People often think love announces itself with grand speeches or unforgettable moments. But sometimes love wakes up before everyone else, irons a school uniform, straightens a crooked collar, and quietly disappears before anyone notices. Kwame had learned something important. If Jasmine wouldn't let him into her heart, he would simply keep showing up at the door. Now, Kwame wasn't exactly a world-famous chef. His cooking was powered by confidence, not experience. And as every pancake was about to discover, confidence doesn't always improve your aim. Poor pancake. It never stood a chance. Breakfast was ready, chocolate pancakes, fresh juice, a hopeful smile. 3 ingredients, yet only one of them would remain untouched. Sometimes the hardest meal to swallow isn't the food, it's disappointment. Rejection doesn't always sound like shouting. Sometimes it's the silence after someone walks away. Sometimes it's a plate that stays full. Sometimes it's pretending not to notice the person who was only trying to make you smile. And somehow, those quiet moments hurt the most. Every morning, Kwame wished Jasmine a wonderful day. Every morning, she answered with fewer words than yesterday. At this point, even the family cat would have been more talkative. Still, tomorrow morning, he'd ask again. Thankfully, there was Nate. Every serious teenager needs one friend whose greatest talent is refusing to let life stay serious for too long. Nate had noticed something Jasmine hadn't. You can ignore kindness, pretend it doesn't matter, roll your eyes at it, push it away. But eventually, kindness has a funny habit of asking questions your heart isn't ready to answer. Teachers have an incredible ability to ask questions they think are homework when they're actually therapy. Write about someone who inspires you. Simple assignment, complicated heart. Some memories never grow old, they don't wrinkle, they don't fade, they simply wait for one word, one photograph, or one classroom assignment to remind us that love never really leaves us. Every afternoon, Kwame showed up. Not because Jasmine wanted him there, but because loving someone sometimes means arriving, even when nobody is waiting for you. Most teenagers think being followed is embarrassing, especially when your friends are watching. But Kwame wasn't following Jasmine because he didn't trust her. He was following because, if anything happened, he wanted to be close enough to help. Sometimes love doesn't walk in front. It quietly walks behind. Nate called him the bodyguard. Kwame would have probably preferred super dad, but he'd happily settle for that nice man who keeps making sure she's okay. Funny thing about growing up, we often notice how adults treat everyone else long before we notice how they treat us. Nate saw kindness. Jasmine saw a stranger. Both were looking at exactly the same man. Sometimes the people who seem the coldest are simply carrying the warmest memories. And letting go feels like losing someone all over again. Building a bookshelf should be simple. Read the instructions, follow the steps, don't invent new ones. Kwame skipped straight to confidence. The bookshelf strongly disagreed. And then something remarkable happened. Jasmine laughed, only for a second, just one tiny second. But healing doesn't begin with giant steps. Sometimes it begins with one unexpected laugh. The smile disappeared almost as quickly as it came, not because Jasmine wanted to be cruel, but because smiling at Kwame felt like she was being disloyal. To the father she still loved, grief has a strange way of making kindness feel complicated. People often ask, how long should I keep trying? The truth? Nobody knows. But parents, especially the ones who choose to love children who aren't biologically theirs, have a habit of trying, long after everyone else would have walked away. That old photo album held more than pictures. It held birthdays, bedtime stories, laughter, hugs, a father's voice, a father's promises, a father's love, carefully preserved between fading pages. Jasmine wasn't afraid of loving Kwame. She was afraid that loving him might mean leaving her father behind. That night, Kwame didn't knock. He didn't make another speech. He didn't ask for another chance. He simply noticed the hallway was dark and quietly left the light on. Because maybe, just maybe, someone who says they don't need you still deserves to know that someone is waiting, if they ever do. Real love isn't always loud. It doesn't always win quickly. Sometimes it's a repaired school bag, a missed pancake, a quiet walk home, a broken bookshelf, a simple "have a good day," and one little hallway light left on night after night. Because the people worth loving are also the people worth waiting for. And that's where we'll leave today's story. If this episode made you smile, made you laugh, or touched your heart in any way, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Tell us, do you think Jasmine is being unfair to Kwame? Or do you understand why she's struggling to let go of the past? If you're enjoying The Stepfather, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us continue telling stories about family, forgiveness, hope, and unconditional love. Now, before you go, here's a glimpse of what's coming next. 10 years, long enough for children to become adults, long enough for best friends to chase dreams across oceans, long enough for weddings to be celebrated, careers to begin, and life to keep moving. But time doesn't heal every wound by itself. Some wounds wait until the heart is finally ready. Jasmine had grown into a remarkable young woman. Nate had carried his dreams all the way to the United Kingdom. A new best friend named Rochelle would soon ask the questions Jasmine had spent years avoiding. Amma had found happiness. Kwame had never stopped keeping a place for Jasmine in his heart or in their home, because while 10 years can change almost everything, they cannot change one simple truth. Love that refuses to give up is still waiting at the front door. To be continued in episode 5.
Footsteps echo through the hall. Silent hearts behind these walls. Some wounds hide where no one sees, carried like a memory. I keep holding yesterday, afraid tomorrow takes it away. If I open up my heart again, will I lose the love that's always been? There's a light still shining in the dark, quietly reaching for my heart. Not demanding, I believe, just waiting patiently. Love doesn't always make a sound. Sometimes it's simply hanging around. Even when I turn away, it never walks away. The light still shines. The light still shines. Funny moments come and go. Laughter finds me when I don't know. For one small second I forget, and then remember with regret. Pictures never say goodbye. They never